Hi, welcome to the resurrection of our Friday framework. Today's framework is our delegation chart. We often have clinic owners who feel frustrated that they are doing everything themselves, or when they do delegate, it comes back half done, not quite right, and then they end up doing it anyway. So our chart is a clear and simple structure to help make sure that you are delegating and not just abdicating. Let's have a look at the various different steps in this chart. The first thing we do is define the task. So what is it that you want somebody else to do for you? Make sure that you're really clear on what that task consists of. We can then identify the correct individual that you're going to be delegating this task to. So for instance, if you have got something to do with your accounts that you want someone to do, you're going to be looking for someone with a high attention to detail. If you're looking for someone to help you with marketing and coming up with some content, you might be looking for someone that's a little bit more creative. So it's really important to understand who is the best individual to take on this task. You'll then meet with a person and you'll describe the task, and you'll go from, what is it that you are looking to do? What are the different steps that might be involved in that task? And very important, you be agreeing outcomes. So really understanding what are the outcomes that you're looking for? What does a finished product look like? And what are the time frames that you want this done within? You might discuss resources as well. So what does this person need? Do they need access to particular software or any systems? Do they need any information from you? Do they need an assistant to help with some of the elements of the task? So it's really just understanding what are the resources that they need in order to carry out that task. You then move to the next step and check understanding. And this is not about being patronizing. This is really making sure that you are on the same page. Communication is all on the listener's terms. So it doesn't matter how well you think you're communicating. It matters how well they understand the task at hand. So check in with them. It might be something as simple as, so that we're on the same page, do you want to just run through what you're going to be doing? And make sure that you're definitely on the same page, because if you don't do that and you get to the end and they hand something into you and it's half-hearted and it's not quite complete, it's really frustrating for you. And it's also probably frustrating for the person that's been delegated the task. Once you've checked understanding, you want to move to allow them to implement it. So you don't want to be over their shoulder all the time. You want to kind of, now that you know that they know what they're getting up to, let them go and do that implementation. But then the next step is that keeping informed. So think about, what do you need and what updates do you need along the way? So for a very small project, it might just be, let me know when you're done. For a larger project, so for instance, if they were putting together content for your website, that might take a few months to get done, getting all the photos and getting everybody's profiles and getting blogs made, and that might take a while. You might then decide to have a weekly catch up to see how far they're getting on. But agree on what is the method of being kept informed and the frequency of being kept informed. We have keep an open door in our process, and that's important. So let them know that, if they get stuck, let them come back to you. However, just be careful with having an open door, that it doesn't just land up back on your desk for you to sort out. So when you say keeping an open door, encourage them to come up with solutions. So while they might be stuck, encourage them to think about what are the different options that they could go and implement. And often they'll actually come up with something that would work really well. So keep an open door, but really encourage them to come up with the solutions to the challenges that they seem to be experiencing in this delegation project. Once you're done, sit down and make sure that you give review and feedback. What went really, really well, and what would they want to improve the next time? And I'd really encourage you to do this in a very self-directed manner. So getting them to identify what went well and getting them to identify what they want to improve. If they don't come up with something that you think could be done better next time, ask them, is it okay if I share my observations? Always ask that permission to share your observations, so that you're just dampening their limbic response. So, getting feedback from people will make you feel nervous, and we want to just make sure that they in a really good state to receive that feedback. So just asking permission definitely helps in dampening that limbic response. And then the next thing you do is agree the next steps. And our last one, if you love lying on the beach, it might be something else, go sailing on a yacht or whatever you want to call that last step. But if you delegate really, really well, you can literally go on holiday and know that your business is going to be looking after itself, or at least your team members will be looking after your business. I hope that the delegation chart will help you in the future, but might also help you as a reflection tool. So you might have incidents where you have delegated in the past. You can use this tool to go and look and see, okay, what went wrong? Oh gosh, I actually allocated the wrong person to that task because they are so not detail orientated, and that required a lot of detail. Or it might be that you just did not check understanding, or you didn't have a system where you were going to be kept informed. So you can go and pinpoint which area went wrong, and then you can know for next time. So it can be used as a reflective tool, but also used as a proactive tool when you are going to be delegating. If you'd like a copy of the chart, please comment below. And while you're here, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are going to be putting a lot more Friday frameworks and lots more content out here for you. Thank you for listening.